Part one of building a finance data platform. Let's get straight into it. So this is pretty much a data engineering project. It uses the S&P 500 ticker list to actually grab the live list of tickers. Now the injection script, which is viewed via Python, actually will call this, grab that data and then call upon the market data finance API using those tickers, list of tickers, and basically specifies a 5-year backfill period to actually get historical data for this. Now, what happens is this will export to a CSV, and as a reminder, this is actually OHLCV data, so open, high, low, and close, and volume, which is standard data using financial reporting. Now, this will land into S3, that's Amazon S3, partitioned by date, and Snowflake will basically, it's the data warehouse. It will handle this data by firstly copying it into itself via copy into, and then DBT will actually structure this data. Firstly, the bronze will be used as raw prices. Then silver will be the clean data, which is then joined up to the various information using the tickers, such as its history and other kind of information, which will then be used in the gold facts table, which will be used for reporting for all the different teams. This will also be used into what's called a portfolio drift allocation piece that I'll talk about in a moment. But Airflow will essentially orchestrate all of this. In other words, automate all of this and do a daily refresh as well of the data. It will just be using a daily version of the ingestion script to actually get fresh data as of now. So that's a bit about the data and how it works, but what do I actually want to do with this in the future? Well, firstly, I want to actually do some data quality testing using either Soda or Great Expectations. Data quality is very important, and having strong data foundations where the data is in the correct format, it doesn't have any nulls, is very, very important. Though I specified an ingestion script to deal with nulls, I actually want to do some formal testing using this. Secondly, I want to use portfolio drift tracking, since the gold table will be used to actually report on things like the amount of allocation, how that might kind of change over time for a given person, and given certain limits that are predefined, we'll warn the user either via Slack or some other messaging system when the user's exceeded, their portfolio's exceeded a certain limit. Now, I want to actually put this all into an app using AWS, GitHub Actions, Kubernetes to basically host the application. But in order to make a build that, I need to actually have a front end, and I'll do that via Lovable. But overall, this is quite an interesting piece of information and quite an interesting project to actually use within data engineering. And I feel like it kind of brings together all this knowledge about DevOps as well as kind of how to actually format data correctly in order to report on it.